Hello, friend. It's time to restart. Peace. Now, there's a word to consider. To begin with, it's a wrong turning to think of peace as simply the absence of distress or agitation. Biblical peace has little to do with circumstance. In fact, biblical peace has little to do with our understanding. Now, wait, did you hear that? Let me rewind. Biblical peace is not within our comprehension. Paul writes, the peace of God which passes all understanding, all comprehension. Peace, as viewed from Bible ground, is not something we can gin up, not something that we can command. But how then are we to live in it? I would suggest the answer is found in how that verse continues. And the peace of God which passeth all understanding shall keep your hearts and minds through Christ Jesus. The place where God's peace is active and promoted is within your heart and your mind, those battleground areas under siege by the devil and his crowd, the very place where God's peace is needed most. If we would have his peace, we must become more watchful of our hearts and minds. David writes, "Create in me a clean heart, O God." Solomon warns, "Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the springs of life." Paul writes, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." And again, "Set your mind on things above, not on things that are on earth." God's peace is set loose and becomes richly active when believers are attentive to and take responsibility for the condition of their hearts and minds. If God's peace we seek, then we must begin today, right now in fact. We must minister to our hearts and minds. "Thy word I have hid in my heart, that I might not sin against thee." And again, become sober-minded as you ought. That's my word of instruction today from Restart Church. Let's seek God's peace. Thanks for tuning in, and may the Lord bless you as you go.